Yay.
That was straight. Wow.
In the neutral position, the pivot joint that connects the skull to the spine is flexed downwards. Shoulders are depressed at the ball and socket joints as the back of the lumbar spine is also flexed into an athletic position. The humerus, radius, and ulna that make up the hinge joints of your arms are extended and abducted away from your body. The hinge joints of the knees are also flexed as the plane joints of the feet and talus of the ankle are plantar flexed and medially rotated.
In this position, the pivot joint of the head is still flexed downwards. The ball and socket joints of the shoulders are shown as the left is depressed, medially rotated, while the right is elevated and laterally rotated. The hinge joint of the left arm is medially rotated and still extended, and the hinge joint on the right at the humerus and ulna is flexed and laterally rotated.
The carpals of the left wrist that make up the plane joint are shown in plantar flexion as the right carpals are in dorsiflexion. The lumbar spine helps the body twist laterally and helps the hips shift laterally away from the midline. As the swing continues, the hinge joint of the right knee becomes extended while the left is flexed and medially rotated. Lastly, the plane joints that make up the right foot is inverted and the left is slightly everted.
In the engaged position, the pivot joint of the head is still flexed down. Ball and socket joint of the left shoulder is elevated, with the right one being depressed. Hinge joints of the humerus, radius, and ulna have been extended again. The right arm has sublimated with the palm of the hand facing outward, and the left has pronated to help the wrist snap through the zone, making the ball go. The spine has medially rotated back to the midline as the ball and socket joint of the hips laterally rotate as you hit the ball. The hinge joint of the left knee is extended and laterally rotated, while the hinge joint of the right is flexed and laterally rotated. The plane joint of the left ankle is plantar flexed and inverted slightly, while the right is everted and plantar flexed as well.
As seen in all their frames, the pivot joint of the head is still flexed down. Ball and socket joints of the right shoulder is medial and rotated, and the left is laterally rotated. The hinge joint of the right elbow is extended and pronated. The left elbow hinge joint is flexed and supinated. The lumbar spine and the ball and socket pelvis both rotate laterally. The hinge joint of the humerus and tibia are flexed while the right is extended. The plane joint of the talus and the tarsal seen in the right foot are in plantar flexion, while the left is slightly laterally rotated and inverted.
Those are straight.